Shalom, shalom. It's Shamak with the Cleveland GMS branch. I want to start off, of course, giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. That want to say, Elder Prosecutor Milson, Rubel, and Teachwell. And just to get right to it, got a couple of, just got a few precepts, dealing with, Babylon, that great cup of, in the Lord's hand, we're going to get right into it. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 1. It says, and there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and taught with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore, that sitteth upon many waters. All right, give me 1 second. Now we go to the word vial.
Strong's G 5357. Fiale.
But it says a broad, shallow bowl, deep saucer, right? And it's another scripture that goes into the vial, how to basically like the Lord's, the Lord's plagues or the Lord's judgments are in those bowls, man, which He's gonna pour out upon the nations for judgment. It says, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. It says, and that great whore is America. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the kings of the earth, these other nations have committed fornication with America because they constantly do have done business with America. And not so much now because the Lord is mustering the host of the battle, and these nations are kind of like, departing their way from, this great whore because she's hated. You had these nations, pulling back, from the American dollar and started, doing their own thing with their own currencies. China did that. Russia did that. And their currencies are backed by gold. If I'm not mistaken, China too. But when you get over here in the Americas, it's not backed by anything. But he's ready to roll in that micro CHIP. Which, all of this currency is going to be backed by that, and, that's where the saying comes in. You will have nothing and be happy, because you will really have nothing. This money will be backed by nothing. The money was backed by gold. I think that was before like the 1948 or somewhere around there, but by the time that hit, and I could be mistaken, don't quote me on that. But it came up a certain point of time to where the dollar bill, the American dollar bill, stopped being backed by gold. But let's keep reading. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, right? And they've been drunken in the philosophy of America, Babylon the Great. So taking on some of her ways, the crazy ways of America. When you come over here in America, it's just nothing but adulterous spirits. Nothing but that blasphemy spirit. This whole kingdom is against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and all these other nations have taken a part of that. Fornication. When you go into that word fornication,
Strong's G 4202. Parnaya.
it says
Parnaya.
porneia, right? Got that word porn, right? And America is big on porn. A lot of the things a lot of wickedness that's going on over here is being ran by these small hats. That's not even over here in America. The guy that owns the porn site, he's a small hat, and mainly those small hats dwell over there in our land. Jerusalem. Which they're strangers. You know, they're strangers to that land. That's why the Lord be cursing them with cancer and other things out over there, you know, because they're really not supposed to be there. You know, but the Lord got them there for prophecy's sake. You know, Isaiah 1:7. You know, which we can get that, but we're going to keep reading on this. It says illicit sexual intercourse, right? Adultery, fornication, homosexuality. And you see that here, where? In Babylon the Great. Lesbianism, you see that where? Here in Babylon the Great. Intercourse with animals, and you see that where? Here in Babylon the Great. All of these you can find on porn sites. All of these going on as we speak. You know, it's just nothing but wickedness. It says sexual intercourse with close relatives. That's another one. You know, as a matter of fact, I think some of these top elites, you know, they be, you know, doing that, you know, thinking that they, you know, keeping the royal blood in, you know, but really they're just, you know, that's more fornication. You know, you're not really supposed to deal with close relatives, and that's why, you know, babies, when they do that, babies be coming out all deformed and shit, because, you know, that's against the Heavenly Father, man. You know, it says sexual intercourse with a divorced man or woman. It says man of the worship of, right, and when you deal with these American women over here, you already committing adultery because they've already been married. You know, they've already been married, so you can already expect, you know, to be committing adultery with a woman when you deal with a woman in America. You know, already expected. 9 times out of 10. It says worship of idols, and that's heavy here. Nobody worships Yahweh Shem Shai in America, Babylon the Great. But you got Goku, you got motherfucking Jesus, you got all these things that people take dear to their mindset, and they look at these things in a light that's greater than, you know, our Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Shai. And this is why America has to be judged, you know, for the amount of iniquity that has abound, you know, and the Lord is going to do judgment. It says the worship of idols, of the defilement of idolatry, as incurred by eating the sacrifices offered to idols. That's, you know, this place is like sacrificing unclean animals to the Lord. It's like sacrificing a pig to Yahweh Shem Shai. When you know a pig is unclean, you still gonna sacrifice a pig. You still gonna sacrifice, you know, an alligator to the Lord. That's an unclean sacrifice. But, you know, we got us men of the Lord, you know, we had that sacrifice of the lamb without blemish, Yahweh Shai. That's the perfect sacrifice. Any other sacrifice other than that is unclean, not of the Lord. Right? But let's go back. All right, now let's go to Jeremiah, because like we just read in Revelation 17 and verse 2, you know, it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. Right? So these other nations have committed fornication with this great whore. They've lied in the bed with her. They've done her acts. You know, they've committed the acts that she does. They've trusted in the philosophy that she trusts. Idols, idol worship. You know, not considering the children of Israel is that, right? Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 51 in verse we're gonna start at verse 5. It says, for Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin, right? And our land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Our land was filled with sin because when we was out there in Jerusalem, Jake just constantly kept going off, and the Lord just kept replacing the power that we had with these heathens coming up into power. You know, but also is filled with sin because you got these heathens that come into power and they ransack the temple. They steal from the temple, just like they did during the Grecian Empire, just like they did during the Egyptian Empire. Always stealing merchandise from the temple, you know, and, you know, they basically use the land of Yahweh Shem Shai as a money laundering, machine, man, right? So yeah, it's filled with sin. Let's go to let's get that Isaiah chapter 1 verse 7. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 1 verse 7. It says, your country is desolate. What's our country? Jerusalem. Yerushalayim. It says, your country is desolate. Go to the word desolate basically means empty. You know. Look at this word desolate. It says Shema Ma.
Strong's H 8077. Shemama. Shemama. And second entry, Shemama. Shemama.
Says devastation, waste, desolation. All right. So our country is burned to a desolate state. There's no spirit of Yahweh Shemi Shai there. It's just dry. You know, those people there ain't got no salt. You know, they're not the people of Yahweh Shemi Shai. Matter of fact, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. Just talking about the Israelites. Because we are in poverty. We suffer oppression. You know, we suffer oppression on these devils. You know, when you get that word poverty, it means beggary. Right, because the scripture says in Deuteronomy chapter 28 that you shall go to your enemies and for the want of all things. Right, so the Lord know, He prophesied it. It says an end to poverty, the condition of one destitute of riches and abundance. Right, so and we're destitute. Our land is our land is desolate, like we just read in Isaiah 1:7. But let's keep reading. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Hasatan, right? And these 48ers, 49ers, you know, small hats, you know, they are not the true people, you know, that they claim to be. They're ish, you know, ish meaning it's a similitude of being something like, right? And they try to make themselves in the form of being like Judah or Levi or Gad or Reuben or Ephraim, but they're not, you know. And they will literally sit there and tell you that they are all these tribes and that Esau is every tribe, but they're not. They are the synagogue of Hasatan. You know, he's literally their physical incarnation, their physical parts on the earth. You know, which they're going to be done away with, but you know, and Hasatan is going to join in their destruction. You know, he's going to be against them in the kingdom. You know, but it says, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, right? Because the Lord made the poor is the rich. We are the poor. We are the Israelites, and we received that blessing that Esau could have received if it wasn't for him selling it for a morsel of meat. So we got that blessing, and we're the rich. You know, it says, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, right? Because they blaspheme Yahweh Shemi Shai. You know, denying what's true, which is that, you know, the true Israelites is who? The nation Israel, starting with Judah all the way down to Ephraim, right? Right, and they deny those being the true people of Israel. You got some, when it comes, there's a lot of Edomites and you know, heathen nation that's in the east that know about, you know, us being the nation of Israel, but you know, for the most part, it's just a bunch of blasphemy, man. You know, calling themselves Jewish, you know, calling us anti-Semitic, thinking of everything that they could think of to put the truth in the box. You know, but it's only going to be so long that you're going to be able to do that before, you know, the Lord just, you know, it's just too much. You know, the Lord just burst that bubble, you know. But let's go back to Isaiah 1:7. It says, your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land strangers devour in your presence. and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. So yeah, our country is desolate as overthrown by strangers. You know, they're strange. They're strange people. The Lord don't know them. You know, Amos 3:1. You have only have I known of all the families of the earth. Talking about the nation of Israel. Right? So yeah, the Lord ain't dealing with these heathen nations. And matter of fact, let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 6. It says, "Flee ye out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity," because her iniquity has rised up all up until to reach the heavens. "For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense." Right, and the day of the Lord is soon to come, where he's going to judge America, Babylon the Great. It says, "Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken." And that's what they did. You know, they committed that fornication, you know, with Babylon the Great and doing business with her. And they've drunken of that cup of her philosophies. You know, all of the wickedness that she does, you know, these other nations can relate. It says, that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right, so these other nations have taken a part in all of the different philosophies and ways of life that America takes on, and they're crazy, man. You know, they're mad. It says Babylon is suddenly falling. Right, so you know, the Lord is going to judge this place, man, and destroy it. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Right, and now is she going to be healed? Let's read verse 9. "We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. And no matter how much work you put at this plantation, no matter how many food deliveries and how many, construction work, hours you put in, she is not going to be healed, man." It says, "Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country." And all that's what you're going to start to see. You know, ain't nobody going. What the scripture say? When a man, is at his downfall in the book of Sirach, even his friends will flee, paraphrasing. You know, so Esau got all these different nations gathered up in here, just like he did in the Roman Empire. But all these nations are going to get ready to leave to their own country when Esau really starts to see a downfall in America, man. It says, "Forsake her and let us go, every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven." Right, and there you go. There's iniquity. The amount of iniquity that's going on here is reach all the way up to the heaven, man. And it is lifted up even to the skies, right? So this place has to be judged, man. There's too much wickedness, and these other nations are feeding off of her wickedness, man. You know. But I'm gonna close it on that. I'm not gonna make it any longer. Lord's witness to edify the way of shot. Give me a spiritual lesson. I want to close up by giving honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem Kagadas. Shalom.